Dear future generations, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry for what we caused. I'm sorry you live in a world of no creativity and a lack of activity. I'm sorry that your world is now more virtual than ever. So virtual that these screens have stripped away your physical interactions and face-to-face conversations. I'm sorry that your world is what we classify as our online world. I'm sorry your eyes are glued to these screens that project false dreams, but wait, what more is there to be seen? Instantaneous methods of transportation? Wouldn't that be great? More like instantaneous levels of mental annihilation. I'm sorry we are sculpting your future into this. I'm sorry we are force-feeding you these screens that strip away your humanistic wonders and traits. While technology can be a blessing, many of us do abuse it. What some might refer to as the grid has already started to grasp out mental well-being with chains of infection. The other day, while planning this speech, I experienced something referred to as phantom vibration. Sounds like a bad video game, right? Well, have you guys ever been just minding your own business? Then boom, suddenly you hear a notification. You check your phone, but nothing seems to be there. Weird, right? Phantom vibration for you. These screens have already started to rewire our brains with false perceptions. The grid, aka a useless void of information, is also hand-feeding us feelings such as depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and a decrease in the ability to socialize. In fact, those that spend more than 3 hours a day on social media are more likely to develop mental well-being problems. Yet we still continue to spend nearly 4 hours of our day looking at screens. Ridiculous, right? A recent study found that Jeff Bezos spent 9 years of his life. A recent study found that we spend 9 years of our lives looking at screens. A recent study found that Jeff Bezos took 3 years to make his first million. Now, if you do the maths, I'm pretty sure you'd much rather have $9 million than 9 years of experience of thumb flicking and severe anxiety. Not only is the grid causing an increase in mental well-being problems, but it's also causing the decrease in our creativity. An American pediatrician stated that play allows children to use their creativity while developing their imagination, dexterity, and physical, emotional, and cognitive strength. Who here has seen a kid under the age of 6 with their eyes glued to screens? Because I know I have. And if parents are substituting kids' toys with these screens as a way to keep their kids quiet, I can only imagine the effects it's having on them. When I was younger, I commonly heard a phrase, be home by dark. Those long walks to the dairies with my mates, keeping that stone along the footpath, then looking up at the clouds. Nowadays, the younger generations commonly hear, go outside. I reflect back on those times and realize how beneficial they actually were. From using my imagination to picture Pokemon under the clouds above, to seeing how far I could kick that stone, I was playing. I realized how kids nowadays, the future generations, don't walk around with their eyes trying to imagine pictures out of the clouds. They walk around with their eyes glued to screens. These screens that project false dreams, playing video games. We are literally handing the future generations meals of humanistic diminishment and the side of depression with a bit of antisocial behavior sprinkled on top. We are literally force-feeding the future generations with tools that are great at ruining creativity. It makes me think what the future will actually be like. It makes me realize the decisions we make now are sculpting our fate. Picture the year 2072. Humanity more advanced than ever. We've already colonized Mars, flying vehicles and holographic entertainment are as common as our Toyota Corollas or your typical flat-screen TV. The common train travels up to 1,000 kilometers an hour, and robotic Uber drives. How great would that be? Yet, in our day and age, most of humanity's attention are focused on short videos and irrelevant clips that are seen on these screens. Will we ever reach this level of advancement, or will we continue to let the grid consume our mind? Will there ever be a next Taika Waititi or Walt Disney? Will people's imaginations and mental well-being continue to dismantle the longer their eyes are glued to that? Could you imagine if screens and technology was around in the 17th century? Newton would have never sat under that apple tree. He probably would have been too busy trying to slide to some girl's DMs. What does that do in terms of our future? But at the end of the day, it is up to us. It is up to us to usher the younger generation towards a better future. It is up to us to lead by example and not always pull out your phone. It is up to us to detach our minds from the presence of screens. This is why I'm going to set a few challenges. Next time you feel the urge to pull out the endless feed, simply don't. Challenge yourself to not pull out your phone. Limit the time you spend looking at screens, the ones that projects false dreams. Dear future generations, I'm sorry for the current ignorance we hold. Some of us are trying. I'm sorry we are constantly turning a blind eye to manipulating screens, these manipulating screens that are currently projecting false dreams. The false dreams that we hope redeem our underlying guilt. The guilt knowing we have force-fed you this imprisonment of societal de-evolution and the decrease of just being a human. Thank you.